shit. And social, the people who run the Mighty Networks or whatever, they had their space today on enacting the lives. So it should be coming, man. Hopefully within the next, I guess, maybe market cycle. So it might be a couple months off. But then, like I said, in the meantime, shit, we got to start utilizing other platforms other than Twitter. You feel me? Going once, going twice. You heard me?
Yeah, that's real talk. I was just looking to try to add something up into the jumbotron. I was going to try to add these actual articles up in the jumbotron because, like I say, you got the actual author of Should Black Men Fight Back Against Police Brutality? Or are we afraid to fight back against police brutality? Gabriel's supposed to be coming up in here tonight and discuss that actual topic as well. So hopefully the brother be stopping by in a second. I'm gonna check the DMs and see what he's talking about because I let him know at 8 o'clock. You know, we trying to get it rolling and whatnot. So we'll definitely go ahead and get this thing jumping in just a second too. Because like I said, we're gonna talk about the Church of England and the Church of England talking about okay, I see my man Gabriel up in here now too. So all right, that's what it is. That's what it is. So yeah, we're gonna talk about are black men afraid to fight against police brutality, and we want to talk about the Church of England. Now these cats here, the Church of England, want to come and drop a low ball offer, talk about $100 million for their role in slavery. Like, man, if y'all don't get up out of here, we gonna touch up on that as well too. So I just want to thank y'all for coming out to the space tonight. I know last night for y'all that tried to come in, it was a mess. We couldn't get anything rolling. So I'm glad to have y'all out. Gabriel, what's going on, man? How you doing tonight?
Hey, what's going on, Newstoter? What's going on, fam? Pretty good, man. You know what I'm saying? I just appreciate, the invite and all of the, what I'm saying, the publicity that you're giving me, bro.
Your sound is kind of off, Ray. Like your yeah.
Volume, yeah, we can barely hear you. Hey Ray, but that's normally your wave in these spaces. When you ever get a chance, bro, go back and play these old spaces we did. We can barely hear you sometimes, or it's like your mic muffled or whatever. So yeah, I'll bring that phone, my brother. You know what I mean?
I did. That's what I was gonna tell y'all.
Now you sound better. You sound clear 100% now.
Oh, I don't know. Well, Professor, I think Professor got a hot mic. That might be a reason too.
All right, everybody, real quick, mute your mic and then Ray talk.
All right, so I'm just checking to see if y'all can hear me. So yeah, obviously that was an issue. So I actually went and actually got a new phone. So I was like, we're gonna see what's going on now. So is this better?
Yeah, it sounds better now. It sounds better now, man. But yeah, Gabriel's had a couple articles. We was able to publish them and put them on Newstoter and stuff. So definitely check the brother out. He's gonna be discussing tonight just his opinion because he wrote a really, really nice article on the actual about the actual black men are we afraid to fight back against police brutality. So I definitely want to go ahead and touch up on that. Like I said, man, the space last night had us so pissed off. So, we tried to get on, but I'm glad that we're able to get on now. Everybody that's in the space, y'all go ahead and tweet the space out as well, too. Gabriel, you got your article on hand. I want you to go ahead and just read that for the room if you don't mind, just so everybody can and I'm trying to find the actual article too, because I know I had bookmarked this, so I'm trying to find it and go ahead and add it to the Jumbotron as well, too. But if you don't mind, going ahead and just opening up with that article so we can go ahead and get into the discussion.
All right, once again, I really appreciate this Newstoter, man, and I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into it. The article it is on Newstoter, as Newstoter just said, as well as on Medium under Gabriel Prosser. The title is "Are We Black Men Afraid to Fight Back Against Police Brutality?" Every rap song that we hear is supposedly gangster rap, and the rappers are supposedly gangster as well because they have sold drugs and are admitting that they have and will kill their own people. This is looked at as gangster in this country and is idolized and admired. Such ignorance is detrimental to our communities and a surefire way that we are allowing white supremacists to control us and murder us as they do. As the title suggests and asks the question, are black men afraid to fight back against police brutality? This is a question that needs to be addressed as well as discussed. The urgency of this matter is loud and clear, as we can see not a day goes by in this country without someone black being murdered by the police. Yet while this system is constantly being violent and murdering us in the street, the establishment has the audacity to ask for the black communities and families to remain peaceful. This ask is a disrespect to the black citizens in this country, because as we can clearly see, we have no one in the systems of government that is doing anything that is stopping the violence that we are receiving in this country on a daily basis. Those of our great ancestors that were assassinated by the government because of the influence they had on their people when it came to fighting the constant police brutality in this country, and also fighting oppressive bias laws and the racist government, such as Malcolm X, he would not have stood for this, and he would not be standing up in front of his people preaching to remain peaceful when the arm of the law murdered their family for something as simple as a traffic stop and they were unarmed. Malcolm X will not be telling us to remain peaceful and to trust the same system that continues to allow this to happen. Yet we have these weak-kneed, pussy-footing Negroes that are in these press conferences after another black person has been murdered by another cop and the machine of racism, which is the police, and telling us to remain calm and to pray that we receive justice. No, my brothers and sisters, and again I say no. Malcolm X and other revolutionaries of those times would not have stood for this and been in the press conferences pleading for us to remain peaceful while holding hands and singing old slave-minded songs. Instead, they would be with us in the street as we take justice into our own hands. They would be ready to die in the street with us, as we know some of our ancestors did this for the same things that we are still fighting for today. The new trend is to record the brutality of our own kind as they are being beaten by the police, instead of us jumping in and saving our family. Or are we scared to fight back against the police when we know that they are in wrong when it comes to disrespecting us, our families, and physically assaulting us for no reason? I will never understand the fear that we have when it comes to fighting back for our lives, when we can see daily that we are in a war here in this country with those that are sworn to protect and serve. Less than 50 years ago, the black men that were fighting this system were of a different cloth. They were not afraid to die on their feet instead of continuing to live on their knees and submit to a racist system. It seems now that we are more afraid to fight those in blue that are harming us for no other reason than the fact that we are black. But we will rap about killing and fighting our own kind for something as stupid as someone making a mistake and stepping on a pair of J's. We are taking the anger that we have against the system and expressing that by killing and being disrespectful to our own kind. This is a backwards thinking. What has happened to us standing up to anyone that is trying to cause harm to us and our families, regardless of who they are or what positions they hold in life? Why are we so submissive to a system that will never be gentle or submissive with us? Gone are the days where we are proudly adopting those qualities of self-defense against those that are trying to do us bodily harm, no matter who they are. We have been trained to attack our own kind without a second thought about our lives, while at the same time, we are thinking too much when it's time to defend ourselves against the white people and systems that are intent on doing us harm. Psychological trauma is to blame for the unwillingness of the majority of black citizens in this country to defend themselves against the racist attacks from police and white supremacists in general. Time and time again, we, the black citizens in this country, are expected to accept the tired apologies from the overweight, donut-eating police chiefs and lying governors and mayors of the chiefs and states as they beg and plead for the black community not to burn down the property that they value much more than they do black lives. As Malcolm X said it best, and I quote, "The government has failed us. You can't deny that. Anytime we are living in the 20th century, 1964, you walk around here singing, 'We shall overcome.' The government has failed you. This is part of what's wrong with you. You do too much singing. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging. You can't sing up on some freedom, but you can swing up on some freedom. This is the mentality of a black nationalist. This is the mentality that we need to adopt and spread to our youth, or else we can see the direction that we are sending them down. Or that is the road to self-destruction. A black nationalist mentality is pertinent to the upliftment of the mentality of the black citizens in this country in order for them to not only defend themselves against harm and police brutality, which is the issue at hand, but also to become free and independent as a people from an oppressive and abusive system that never wants to see us as their equals. Thank you, bro.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Pretty good article. And let me just ask you a question, Gabriel. What gave you the motivation and the idea to go ahead and piece together an article like that? Is it just a constant police brutality cases you're seeing in America? Just expand a little bit on why you decided to write such an article, and what's your opinion on the state of affairs right now in terms of black men and dealing with police brutality, and how do you think we can go ahead and maybe combat this?
Okay. Well, of course, you know, the me writing the article was definitely because, you know, like everybody, you know, we tired of you know, seeing, you know, our own kind get killed out here in the streets by these racist pigs. And me myself, you know, I have a malicious wounding charge on an officer for fighting him back because he was trying to abuse me and manhandle me before he had put the cuffs on me. He had put one cuff on me, tried to put the other cuff on me, and tried to beat me all up. And I fought back, and it gave me malicious wounding. I was ready to die that day, man, because I'm not going to let no fucking police abuse me, knowing that I'm in the right and they in the wrong. If I got caught doing some wrong shit, violent, killing, robbing, okay. But if I'm just being a black man walking to the store to get a Rillo or some bag of potato chips, and you think I'm this and you try to abuse me, yo, I got to fight back. And we have that right. So I wanted to try, you know, my humble attempt, you know, to try to encourage brothers, man. You know, like we go so hard on each other. Motherfuckers don't even want to say good morning to a nigga. But as soon as the white man come in your job, you smiling all up in his goddamn face. Scary. Don't want to say nothing to a brother. Want to hate us, want to kill us, want to nigga did this. But when it's time to fight the oppressive enemy, the one that's really trying to kill your ass, you want to, you know, cowtail. You want to be a coward. You want to back down. You know, we need to have that. That's why I wrote that, using the nigga mentality to form the Black Nationalist Army. You know, this mentality can use as a weapon in a good way for us to be ready to defend ourselves. Like they said.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something, because I know a lot of people when they saw the actual George Floyd incident, when they saw him get killed, you had a lot of people that everybody make sure that your mic is muted real quick so we don't have any feedback. But when they saw the actual George Floyd murder take place, a lot of people felt that, hey, too many times that black men sit around and we just look and we watch actual people be brutalized and killed in our community, and we don't do anything to actually try to stop it or anything like that. I remember Tariq Nasheed was saying something to the effect that, hey, out there in California, you know, the black people, we don't just sit around and watch the cops just kill other black people. Like, we ain't just gonna sit around and just watch, you know, people get the Rodney King treatment like so many other parts of the country. And when I think about it, you do see that a lot of time. Yeah, we starting to get our cameras out and our phones out, and we taking pictures and we're recording. While at the same time, you know, you're having black men and black women, and in some cases even black children and stuff, getting their heads beat in, and we just kind of sitting there watching and hoping that, hey, these race soldiers will go ahead and pull up off of the people. And a lot of times that's just not happening. You got it, Gabriel. Go ahead.
And again, dude, so that's the key, man, because like most of those times, like for instance, the Tyree Nichols case, for instance, you know, those 5 officers that was beating him, and plus those white officers they're trying to hide from us. The people that were reporting that outnumbered those officers. Every time this happens, the neighborhood that's reporting these events, we outnumber them. So there's no reason for us to, you know, be more in number than them and continue to record. We can overpower them. There's no need for 40 people in the projects to be recording 4 officers to beat a black person to death, period. It could be 10, 20 of us overpowering those officers to make sure that this black person lives again and receives true justice, if we can, or street justice. This is what the Black Panthers did, man. This is a black nationalist mentality. You know, they constantly distracting us with this dumbass shit, man, to make you so fucking weak-minded, Charlotte. They don't want you to be a black man that's willing to die, stand on his goddamn feet and mean what he say and not cowtail and back down, goddammit. No. They want you to be some type of feminine or some type of other stupid dump. They don't want you to be strong, Charlotte. That's why they're trying to keep us from being self-defense. Did you don't hear nothing about Malcolm X? Nothing about what he do in this country. It's Black History Month. Nothing about Nat Turner, Denmark Bessie, David Walker. Nobody that represent being free from an oppressive system. Nobody that represented fighting back against the police or anybody that's trying to harm your ass. They're going to drown you death with the MLK mentality. That's why I got the podcast on Spotify. The MLK mentality versus a Malcolm X mentality. They want to brainwash you and your children into that non-violence goddamn dogma or belief. They don't want no man that's gonna smack the fuck out of goddamn police officer if they try to abuse their ass in public. Record that shit, and then shit gonna start changing. We need more motherfuckers with this type of mentality, and that's why I keep doing what I'm doing. If you can, please support me, a brother that's doing something positive and stuff instead of nothing, because I'm trying to get us going, man. Something got to change. And, you know, I just thank you again, Newstoter, for all of this, bro.
Oh, no problem, man. My thing is, do you think things would change in terms of policing if the policing, and I know people will bring up the Tyree Nichols situation, like, well, look, and even today, I believe it was what was that cop at? I forgot what state he was in. He had a black CO or somebody did something. But so many times now that even on news, so that we're seeing articles and stuff popping up, a lot of the actual some of the police brutality is actually coming from black police officers themselves as well too. But do you think things may change and be a little bit different if we did have actual control of our own policing in our neighborhood? Say that we went ahead and we had our own way of pretty much validating who was fit to actually be a police officer in the black community. Because right now, you know, pretty much we have no say in who polices us in our neighborhood. So even if it's a black cop or whatever, they're going through the white system and they've been pushed off on us. But if we had our own control, like so many different neighborhoods, like the Asians police themselves, and a lot of these Jewish communities up north in New York and stuff, and they're policing themselves, that maybe the interaction with black people and police brutality would be a lot different if we had actual say in the actual people that was supposedly protecting and serving our neighborhoods, not only looking like us, but having the same mindset as us as well, too. Because a lot of times, you know, and they're not going to admit to this, but cops and stuff, a lot of times, man, they police white folks a lot different than they police black folks. Things that they'll go ahead and arrest the average black person for, they may go ahead and they may go ahead and try to do certain things with white folks, give them a warning, give them a slap on the wrist, tell them not to do this, not to do that, and whatever. But with black people, they're going to go ahead and they're going to take you straight to jail. So my thing to you in the space is, would things be different, a lot different, if we were actually policing our own neighborhoods, taking care of our own people and stuff like that? You know, seeing exactly, validating who was worthy enough to be in law enforcement to go ahead and protect and serve in our communities. Because right now, like I say, we getting a lot of black folks that's in there, but a lot of these black folks, and they used to say this all the time when I was a kid growing up, that sometimes the worst police officers are actually the black ones. They always used to say that growing up, like the black police officers are actually nastier than the white ones. And you like thinking like, well, how can that be? Why would somebody that looks like me, comes from the same neighborhood as me, talks like me and everything else, why would he would have more in common with me than the actual other police officers and stuff like that? But I guess it's part of being part of that organization and that fraternity, that you want to fit in and you want to do what you got to do. But I'm with you on that, man. Like the Black Panthers, they weren't sitting around and just, you know, and that's why they had to be taken down. The Black Panthers had to be taken down, and it was an assault by the federal government and at the highest branches to go ahead and knock them off, because here you had men that weren't going to sit up there and just be and just be attacked all day. Like, so I'm in agreement with you on that, bro.
Exactly. I appreciate it, because again, like you said, far as those black men, you know, that's in the police force, that's always the worst motherfucking police. You know, again, like you said, they get in that white supremacist system, so they got a lot to prove. You understand what I'm saying? They trying to so-called think they moving up in rank. So, you know, they going to be the meanest nigga on the goddamn police, especially to their own kind. They know they ain't going to get no charges. Like, again, this shit that happened to Tyree Nichols, you know, this shit ain't new, man. This same police chief was down there in Atlanta doing the same shit the brothers down there before they fired her, and she got another job up there and created another gang to do the same shit to black people in there. So long as they in the police system that's run by white supremacy, they're going to continue to uphold their goals, which is to oppress black people in any kind of way they can, goddamn it. Period. They don't make a difference. They locking niggas up now for just coming outside, shawty. They ain't even asking you questions. They just putting you in cuffs, throwing your ass, beating you up, and then they going to see what you did. That's how it is now. We literally at war with these goddamn pigs out here every day. But if we was thinking Again, y'all, it's a black nationalist mentality that's only becoming independent of white people. Think that American Revolution that happened in 1776, that was a white nationalist war that they fought to be an independent white nationalistic society from Britain. Okay? That shit won't to make black people equal with us. Because as soon as they got free from Britain, they did the same goddamn thing that they wanted to not be a part of Britain to us. Taxation without representation, all of that shit. They took the same goddamn rules, the hierarchy from Britain and established their own white nationalistic society called America. And now we up in this motherfucker. So why wouldn't you want to be a black nationalist? So we can have an independent mindset. Have our own black police that we run. That's not a part of a white system that we can assure that they're going to treat everybody. They got families in this community. Everybody living in this community. They're going to make sure that their family's good. They're going to make sure your family's good. Everybody know each other. But long as we not black nationalists and we not thinking like this, Shawty, we going to stay being divided. We're going to stay being divided. Motherfuckers be forgetting about Malcolm X, Shawty. He was the key. People think they know, but you got to follow this man, Shawty. He laid down blueprints for us to actually have a fucking revolution that could change our lives, that our daughters, your daughters, sons can actually see some fucking reparations or some fucking freedom. But we not following. We getting caught up in the most foolish shit. Motherfuckers want to talk about this, that, the third. Fuck that. On Valentine's Day, niggas want to get flowers. Shawty, they bombed Malcolm X's house on Valentine's Day, Shawty, in 1965. 1964, actually. When his wife and children were in there asleep, but all you want to do is get some balloons and some flowers. We need to have that mentality, Shawty. Never forget. That's the only way that we're going to ever come out of this plight that we in as a people, man. And that's why I try to write the podcast, man. I ask y'all to follow me and support me any way y'all can. You know, I do this shit because I truly have a passion for this. I have 9 felonies. I have 2 books. One called Hypocritical on Amazon. The other one is called 9Fs for 9 felonies. I've been in the penitentiary 3 times. You know, so I know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know, I actually out here in these streets, been out here, did that stupid ass shit, so I know what I'm talking about. They want to keep us. I was a slave in the penitentiary, Shawty, working for 35 cents a fucking hour, working hard as a bitch, though. $12 a month. Drawers and my size in the penitentiary cost $8. If I ain't had no family out there, bitch, I'd be out back. So we got to think like that. I'm one of those brothers. I know people in the penitentiary that's never coming home. And they wouldn't want to see me back in that bitch or none of us in that motherfucker for nothing. Because they would be out this bitch ready to revolution, just like we trying to get. So we just got to get that mentality, that black nationalist mentality, so that we can take care of business, man.
Yeah, you hit on some real points there, man. And like you say, that the prison system is justly, and it says that within the Constitution that the only really act of slavery that is left is actual being in the prison system. So they kept that a part of it. So even though you're free on the outside, America can still have a prison, can still have a slave system based on the actual the prisons here in America. Gabriel, I want you to chill and I don't want you to go anywhere because we're gonna go back and forth on topics as well too. And I want you to be the guest speaker for the night as well too. So Professor Ray, you guys want to go? I know y'all having some issues. I know Ray having some issues and DJ got kicked up out of here as well too. Ray, I sent you the co-host invite. So whenever you get a chance, man, you can go ahead and accept that. You know, I don't know what's going on with it. I know DJ, you said you got kicked out. Professor, I saw you come in and out one time. Ray, you got dropped back down to listener, but I did send you the actual I don't know, maybe if you're working on something or doing something. Okay, Ray, you came back up for the co-host. So yeah, y'all, we're gonna be covering this topic here tonight. I also want to touch up on this Church of England and their reparations, slavery, payoff, or whatever they talking about. Professor, anybody, you guys want to touch up on anything real quick before I go to this article? And then, like I said, you know how we do in the spaces. We always jump back between topics. And like I say, Gabriel, I didn't know you had a Spotify either, man. I need to go ahead and me and DJ was talking about that. We need to go ahead and set up a Spotify ourselves as well too, and get on Spotify as well too.
Definitely.
What was that? I'm sorry.
No, I was saying definitely, like, yeah, set that Spotify up, man. Like, that's another outlet.
Yeah, we definitely got to go ahead and do that. And I'll probably holler at you in the back channel since you already got one going. But if you want to put your Spotify info up in the Jumbotron as well too, man, so people can go ahead. I don't even have a Spotify account, so I gotta set that up. So, but for anybody that's on here that's got a Spotify, go ahead and make sure you follow Gabriel as well. If you got a YouTube channel, go ahead and put that up in the Jumbotron as well too, man. So, got to go ahead and support our black writers and I know you said you wrote books as well too. So this brother's writing books. He's doing he's got a podcast. He's writing articles. So let's go ahead and definitely support him as much as possible, y'all. We got a smaller space tonight. We may have some more people coming in. If not, we still gonna keep this information rolling. So if y'all can go ahead and tweet it out. If not, that's cool as well. DJ, what's up? You got your hand up.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying I agree with the brother Gabriel for sure. You know what I mean? And definitely follow the brother across all social platforms. And he is also up on social media. Come up on our social platform because you see how these WPIs is doing us. They blocked the hell out of us yesterday for no damn reason. So, you know, we got a mass exodus into our own shit. And with that being said, Gabriel, we do promote the Black State of America, BSOA, #BSOA hashtag. And come over on YouTube. I'm gonna post everything in the Jumbotron. So, you know, come up on our show every Saturday here on Tweet, 8:30 sharp. Shout out to brother Black State Majority and all the other folks of the Black State. So we is trying to enact and be amongst our own, because you're right. We ain't gonna harm each other like that, because what a lot of us fail to realize growing up, even if you are the police, you ain't gonna do that shit to my cuz, my grandma, my mom, my aunt, my pops, my son. We got some niggas that know your family, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you already know what time it is, so why would y'all even decide to do that? But it's just more or less seems like nowadays it's black cops living amongst the white community, as you said, and they got to show, you know, hey, you know, I'm looking for a come up, I got to pull rank. You feel what I'm saying? So, and this is a perfect example of these black cops with the Tyree Nichols. This is why I be saying also, you can't even identify them as black cops or white cops. They just the fucking police, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Because they all about busting our heads at the end of the day. So, you know, when a black man join the police force, is he joining the police force to do the right thing? Or is he on some boys in the hood shit? You know, nigga, get up against the car, you think you tough, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Which is mainly what we be seeing nowadays. But I live in a black neighborhood, but I've had that shit done to me. So it's like it almost don't even matter nowadays, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, I see Black Pressure had left a comment. He was saying that the space keeps kicking them out. So we don't know what's going on with these spaces. Truthfully, we really don't. People come and they say that all the time. We don't have any control over it. Like DJ said yesterday, these dumbasses, they went ahead and they you know, they pretty much kept us from putting on the title. I guess I don't know if the title they felt was too touchy or whatever, but whatever it was, they decided to go ahead and keep us up off of here. So we gonna still do that Sunday. Like I said, we ain't saying what time we gonna drop that space. I'm not even gonna give them the heads up. I might just create that space at nighttime and just start just DMing everybody or whatever. But I'm not even finna give these rednecks the heads up so they can go ahead and block us again like they did last time, because that's all they did. They made sure they blocked us yesterday. So we ain't giving them no heads up on that space. I ain't even gonna say nothing. I'm gonna just go ahead right before I'm put it out, and then we gonna go live right then and there. So y'all Sunday night, I'll say between 7 and 8 o'clock, y'all check your DMs or whatever, man, because we're not even gonna play with these rednecks anymore. They sitting up here, and anytime it's something they don't agree with a message, I know they've been shadow banning me on Twitter with the content and everything else. So whenever they don't agree with something, they go ahead and they start sticking it to us. So Gabriel, I know you got your hand up. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on what DJ was saying about, you know, like far as, you know, it ain't gonna be no such thing as, you know, good black cops. And he right. I mean, you know, it's proof. Just think about Christopher Dorner. He's one that we gotta honor, man. He was the last good cop. This man reported goddamn Sarah Stevens, I believe her name was, the LA goddamn PD police officer, to those white racist pigs because of excessive police force that she was doing. But instead of, you know, the police awarding this excellent example of a fucking police officer, they punish him. And he had the highest fucking ranks in the military, top secret fucking clearing, goddammit, higher than any of those officers that were in the LAPD. But because he reported the lady Sarah for excessive force on a civilian, they ruined this man. And he won't take in that shit. Laying down, goddammit. And that's what the fuck we need to be like, shawty. That's continue to raise awareness about him, Micah Johnson, and other black revolutionaries in these days and times. Because it ain't just those ones in the 60s and 70s, goddammit. We got some ones in the 2000s that they trying to make us fucking forget about. You know, like Christopher Dorner and Micah Johnson, shawty. We got to keep their names alive. They fucking great examples of what the fuck men like us should continue to fucking be in a wake. That's why I keep writing all this fiery ass shit, y'all. I'm trying to set fire up under our asses, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of hanging around brothers that want to talk to me about sports. Nigga, I don't care about that shit, dog. Niggas thinking I'm weird. Nigga, I don't care about that shit. Don't talk to me about that, bro. I don't care about none of that. I care about that nigga Peyton Grindon getting goddamn life, and the judge said that she won't gonna show him mercy. When she gave him life without goddamn parole, that is showing mercy. Because when he killed those 10 motherfuckers, he ain't show them no mercy. But we got this white supremacist system that show white privilege, that continue to show white supremacist killers like him privilege. So no, Shawty, we gotta keep awakening these new age revolutionaries. Like I just said, Micah Johnson and goddamn Christopher Dorner. Because it ain't just revolutionaries that's in the 60s and 70s, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? All of us revolutionaries, and we got to continue to make our blood boil, goddammit. I love waking up making white people mad, white supremacists mad. I try to make that shit mad every goddamn day, some way, write something, publish something, make a podcast, something, to make sure that they emailing me because of whatever, man. Fuck that. A black nationalist mentality ain't goddamn hating, bruh. That's loving you, loving your own kind. You remember how they had to force all them motherfucking white people to integrate? Man, they had white people did not want us to do none of that shit with their ass. They motherfuckers talking about integrate. They ain't want to do none of it, goddammit. Motherfuckers still trying to hang with them. They was forcing us out that shit. So now it got to be back to that black nationalist mentality. That's the only way we gonna see fit. I don't understand why people still want to vote. Like, that's the dumbest shit. I'm a felon, like I told you. The book 9 F's mean 9 felonies. I wouldn't stand in line and waste my goddamn time to get my voting rights back, nigga. For what? That's like believing in the fucking Easter Bunny, man. Standing in a long ass line with a couple noodle suits waiting to vote so you can walk around with a sticker say I voted. That's the dumbest shit. I wrote an article about Jim Crow Joe. I said the article title was, "Now that you voted for Jim Crow Joe and Kay Harris, aren't you embarrassed?" I told niggas 2 years ago on the Spotify podcast before they voted their dumb ass saying they want shit gonna change. And look what the fuck happened. So motherfuckers still want to vote for the same system, shawty. They show you what they do with the votes. They threw them bitches in the ocean. Like, nigga, that's what we do your votes. Throw them bitches in the ocean. I don't give a fuck about no goddamn vote. I'ma land there, bro, because I see people got their hands up and I ain't trying to just take over.
No, you good, because DJ the host, he always gonna give it to the speakers. Leon, go ahead. How you doing tonight, Leon?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to see you back on here, man. So yeah.
Yeah, these dumbasses last night, man, they went ahead and they shut us down before we could even get going.
You had a good topic too. Like,
I know. I know. And we coming back Sunday with it, man. They gonna have to.
I know it was gone. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Unbelievable, man. But it's unbelievable, but it's believable. Yeah, I'm digging with the last brother, Gabriel. Man, I'm digging what you were saying, man. Man, you hit all points. I've been going at white supremacists all the last couple of weeks too, man. If you ain't seen my posts, if you do, you can just, matter of fact, you can even just go to my profile and you'll see the pin and you'll see why. That thing has over 4,500 hits right now, man, and they've been making them mad as hell. But on to the topic at hand here. Hell yeah. Oh, I don't know if anybody saw my other post about the I can't find out where exactly that happened with the young brother that the two white cops pulled over. They tased him, and then he got away, actually got back in his car and shot those two cops, and then he drove off. I will be getting a lot of shit about that too. I just don't know where that incident happened.
Damn, I'm trying to think if I tweeted that out. I got to check and see, Leon, because I'm trying to think something about somebody being tased and something recently as well too, man.
Yeah, because of course supremacists like, oh, you cheering for him to kill cops. I said no. They were tasing him to death. It's just that he had enough strength to break out of that, and then I was just surprised that he got to his car. Then he started bucking him down. I was like, damn, I didn't even see that coming. So yeah, whatever the situation is with the misuse of brutality that they did to him first, as far as I'm concerned, when he got back to his car, it was fair. Once he got his car, got his gun, it was fair game after that. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to condone violence or nothing like that, but I'm just saying, for the brutality of what that brother went through, that warrant the backlash of what they got. Whether he was wrong or not. But I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to condone it. But I mean, if the way this how the word I'm looking for, the way the supremacy got this game one-handed, you're going to see results like this happening. And you're going to start seeing it more and more because a lot of us, the young ones, shout out to the young heads out here, we putting up with this. We not our grandfathers' 1950, 1960 civil rights. We're past that point now. The supremacy is past that point. They slowly trying to kill us off. Look at all the problems we have with the water and all these cities now, all these other cities now. Now we ain't just talking about Flint. We ain't just talking about Memphis. We got problems in Louisiana, problems in Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. You know what I mean? Hell, Chicago, Philadelphia. Even Philadelphia had problems. New York City. All these big urban areas, we having problems with lead and stuff, and it is getting worse and worse and worse. Food deserts are getting worse and worse and worse. You see how much carton of eggs is now, right? And where I live at, I live up in the sticks. And that even the white ones are having a hard time, the ones who got chickens, because their chickens ain't laying eggs. So they're really panicking. They don't even know where the hell they're going to get their eggs from. So, I mean, there's just a lot of stuff going on. I'm sorry I got a little bit sidetracked, but yeah. But I'm trying to stay on focus about the whole police brutality. But, I mean, you knew this stuff was going to happen. It sucks that what happened in Memphis, because that was our own people going against our own people just because they think they got a badge and gun and they think they could do what their white fellow officers could do. Is just asinine, and as you see now, they going to jail. We try to tell you can't do what they do. You can't do what they do, but you always going to have those certain coons out there think they can, they can follow Massa and do what Massa do, and it's not going to end well for them. So I'll land there because I'm just rambling.
No, you good, bro. You good. I want to real quick, y'all, because I want to touch up on this Church of England as well, too. And they talking about their contribution that they're going to make for their role in the slave trade. So I just want to touch up on this real quick. Y'all know y'all can go back and forth, and you want to go back. And Gabriel, like I said, I want you to stick around so you can speak on the actual police brutality as well, too. But I just want to go ahead and get this article out there real quick. This was published by the Business Daily. It was curated by one of our curation partners on Newstoter, Neo Jim Crow. It's titled "The Church of England Commits," and it says $15 billion to address this shameful role in the slavery trade. I'm not sure exactly what the SH currency is, but in terms of their currency, that's $100 million. So Britain's past and historical links to slavery have been in the spotlight in recent years, with the toppling of 2020 of a 17th century English slave trader statue in Bristol, sparking a nationwide debate. Countries, including the United States, have faced calls for slavery reparations over the years, with demands and estimations of compensation ranging between billions and trillions of dollars. In an article published in the Guardian newspaper last week, the Church of England announced that it had committed $100 million to a fund it is setting up to compensate for its historical benefit from the international slave trade. Now, for England to sit up here, and they was the biggest slave traders on earth, to sit up here and talk about that, they're going to go ahead and put $100 million into a fund for the international role that they played in the slave trade, is almost like you you complaining over giving somebody $10. I mean, it is idiotic for them to even say that, because even the sentence before that was talking about the compensation ranging between billions and trillions of dollars. These dumbasses didn't even say, let us go ahead and give $2 billion. They sitting up here talking about $100 million. But let me go ahead and further read this article as well. A report published June 16, 2022 for the Church Commissioners, the body which manages the Church of England's $10 billion endowment fund. I'm going to say that again. $10 billion endowment fund. Trace the origins of the fund partly to Queen Anne's bounty, a financial scheme established in 1704 based on the transatlantic chattel slavery. The report said Queen Anne's bounty had invested significant sums in the South Sea Company, which transported 34,000 slaves to the Spanish Americas in the 18th century and had received benefactions from people with links to slavery, including Edward Colston. The trade that enslaved African people was responsible for inflicting much pain and misery on people of African descent in particular, but also on other groups around the world who have experienced deep injustice. It contributed to both the racial and class divisions we experience today in our society and regrettably in our church. Churches and societies with inequities and divisions do not flourish. Queen Anne's bounty was established to augment the incomes of poor clergy in the Church of England and by extension, the organization. The augmentation of maintenance of the poor clergy, which administered the bounty and eventually a number of other forms of assistance to poor livings. The bounty was originally funded by the aunt's money's first fruits, the first year's income of cleric newly appointed to beneficiary, and a tenth of the income in subsequent years traditionally paid by the English clergy to the Pope until the Reformation and therefore to the Crown. To accelerate the augmentation of the fund between 1809 and 1820, Parliament made annual grants of the bounty of $100,000. The Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, said last Tuesday, it was now time for the church to take action to address our shameful past. Well, you have to do a lot more than talk about giving a damn 100,000, giving $100 million. Speaking to BBC last Wednesday, Gary Molson, chief executive of the church commissioner, said there is no doubt that those who were making the investments knew that the South Sea Company was trading in enslaved people, and that's now a source of real shame for us, and we apologize. It's an enormous step forward, broadcaster and historian David Olagosa said of the church's commitment. For 200 years, we've been in denial, brushing this history under the carpet, and the idea that you inherit wealth from history, that along with the wealth, you also inherit some responsibility, that idea has been dismissed for decades. As an immediate step, the Church of England said it would display items from its archives with links to slavery at an exhibition in London, including a petition written by an enslaved person in 1723 to the head of the church. The church commissioners will use the money for a fund that would invest in communities affected by past slavery and conduct research and related activities tied to the church's involvement in slavery over the next 9 years. The church was careful not to use the term reparations, as that might invite an avalanche of individual claims for compensation, but the state that the purpose of the fund will be to support projects focused on improving opportunities for communities adversely affected by slavery. Like, these white folks are something else now. They're going to make sure they don't go ahead and put actual reparations into the actual conversation, because
that's why they only gave $100 million.
Yeah.
If they put more money in it, then we all know what that means. That's a finesse. That's a finesse.
Oh yeah. Let me finish this up real quick, and I want y'all to dive in. In September last year, Britain's University of Cambridge also admitted that it benefited from proceeds of slavery. You think, during this history, and promised to expand scholarships for Black students and fund more research into the murderous trade. While the enormity of the slave trade and its effect on communities may be impossible to quantify, it is gratifying to note that perpetrators are coming out of the denial stage. I mean, when you said, Leon, I mean, you talk about like a load of horse hockey. That's exactly what that article was. Now, they don't want to sit up here and they don't want to go all in because they don't want to really get hit with a bomb. You got Great Britain up here at Cambridge University and all these other universities. Hell, we got universities right here in this country, Harvard, Yale, all these Ivy League schools right here in America that benefited from the slave trade. And you're going to sit up here and talk about the people that reaped the most benefit outside of America, which was Great Britain, that they sitting up here and they trying to go ahead and finesse this. You talk about $100 million. You might as well not even give anything. What is $100 million? What is $100 million going to do? Great Britain and all of the Western colonial powers, all of them they owe trillions of dollars. If you were to take France, Spain, Great Britain, Germany, if you was to talk about getting reparations from all of these countries, you'd be talking about $500-600 trillion. To sit up here and talk about you're going to give $100 million. Now you see a lot of churches leading the way with these reparation claims. And even over here, you got churches sitting over here and they're coming out of the private sector. You got churches saying, well, yeah, we benefited from this or that. So we're going to give $100,000 of this. We're going to give $100,000 of that. But here's the thing too. The Church of England, I'm sure, and they talk about 34,000 people that he transported, they finance or whatever. Yeah, that's nonsense. We know you finance and you ship way more souls than that. If you didn't physically actually have the actual people in your actual ships or finance, you had your hands on it. So to sit up here to about 34,000 people, that's nonsense. But here's the thing that nobody ever brings up when we start talking about these big time churches. How many people, and you can sit up here and talk about how cool this new pope is and how he's cool with gay marriages and how he doesn't have a problem with abortion. Ask this new pope about how much does the Vatican owe in slave reparations? Ask them how much do they owe. Because I guarantee you, the Vatican itself, the ones that gave the approval, that told you, yeah, go ahead and the infidels and the heathens and the barbarians and go ahead and cage them up and ship them around the world and this and that, they owe trillions of dollars. And the Vatican has trillions of dollars in his coffin. So don't let anybody fool you on that right there. DJ, what's up, Professor? I know you kind of quiet tonight. Ray, I know you've been having some issues. I just got you back up here. What's up? Shout out to K3 and Volvo. Yeah, for you guys coming up in the space, man. We talking about we got the author of the article why do are black men afraid of police brutality, a fight against police brutality. So we've been talking about that. Just got through talking about the Church of England and the shitty $100 million that they talking about giving people. And then here's the thing, and this is how they always finesse stuff as well, even because you already talk about giving crumbs and peanuts. So now you're talking about people of African descent that was affected and other people that was adversely affected as well. To like, man, there's only one group of people that was affected in the goddamn transatlantic slave trade. Like, what are you talking about? Now, if you want to talk about other parts of the world you colonized, if you want to talk about out there in Australia and you want to talk about over there in India, that's separate from the transatlantic slave trade. There's only one group of people that was adversely affected by the transatlantic slave trade, and that's it. There's no other people. It's one group of people, and that would be black people. That would be black people on the African continent, and that would be black people in the African diaspora, black diaspora, whatever you want to call it. There's only one group of people that was adversely affected by the actual transatlantic slave trade, by damn England and Portugal and the Dutch and all the rest of them that was masterminds of exploitation. So if you're talking about cutting that check, it needs to come from all of the colonial powers over there. They don't want to do it because they know it will bankroll them. And to this day, you still got the damn France that's dependent on being fed by damn West Africa to this day. Because if West Africa ever got some backbone and told them to go to hell, they would go under in a heartbeat. I see Volvo. I see you having some issues trying to stay up in here as well too. DJ, I see you got your hand. I don't know if you got your hand up or you just your hand just up or.
It's whatever with me. But no, I just say, I agree with everything everybody's saying, you know what I mean? And then, as far as the reparations coming from the crown and shit, y'all gonna have to give up at least 3/4 of y'all wealth to even consider paying back. Not just black Americans, but we talking about the entire diaspora. And like you said, it ain't just them. We talking about these Arab countries. We need to go after them. We need to go after these African countries too, because they sold us with trinkets that Africans had in their own backyard at the fucking time. So at the end of the day, $100 million wouldn't even cover the principal interest on that shit, yo. So with that being said, what everybody needs to go do is go Google Sean D. Rochester, SHAWN D. Rochester, like the town or whatever, you know what I mean? Sean D. Rochester, the black tax. We're old in the quadrillions, fucking trillion. Put a Q on my shit, not a T, you know what I mean? We talking 6.4 quadrillion and up. And since Peyton Gingeron got sentenced or whatever the case be, and he had reparations on the stock barrel of his gun, guess what? The price just fucking doubled, Joe. go there.
Yeah, it's real talk, man. And that's one thing that we always forget. We never talk about the damn Arabs, and they roll in the slave trade as well too. And they were the ones that 1,000 years before the white boys and showed them how to mastermind and perfect it. The Arabs always get off, and then you still got black people over there in Africa still kissing their ass to this day, still over there kissing their ass, allowing these people to stay over there after they enslaved them, and still enslaving them to this very day in parts of Africa, sitting up there. But you're right, I forgot about that too, man. Like, the Africans, we definitely could address that as well too. Like I say, the only problem you'll have with Africans in terms of trying to ever get anything in terms of the slave trade is because the actual countries or the empires are no longer there. Like with Great Britain and Germany and all these European powers, they still his country. So it's easy in the United States. It's easy to go ahead and get money from them. The Africans, though, they need to give up some of that land.
Yeah, so to piggyback off of what you just said, that is true. Most of those old world civilizations are no longer here, but some of them are. And here's how you know: if Ghana and Nigeria got these year returns, therefore meaning your traditions and your culture is still there. You see what I'm saying? And they still sell slaves to the Arabs to this day. They allow their peoples to journey from the country and go over to places in Europe, Spain, all this other shit, just to get their ass whooped again by other Spaniards, you know what I'm saying, the other white Europeans that don't want them in their country. So if you go Google any international news surrounding immigration from Israel to as far as I think, Russia, Ukraine, or whatever, black Africans are getting their ass whooped, yo, straight up. And the African continent ain't doing shit because they are allowing their peoples to go abroad. They don't care about their peoples. Same thing when the war broke out with Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine told these black Africans, nah, y'all gotta walk. You can't get on the train with us. Ukrainians only. You know what I'm saying? Or if there's another train, we'll allow you on that. But we taking women, children, and all Ukrainian men first. See that? And then when the shit popped off like that, Africa, whatever countries these African people were from, their respective countrymen, whether than Kenya, Congo, Nigeria, Ghana, wherever, right? Ethiopia, they didn't even want to come get their own fucking people. Send a plane or something. Send a boat, something, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, meaning we still waiting on a rescue slave ship for 100 years later. So yeah, they may not have any money as far as fiat money, but we already know the resources are on the land and in the ground. So yeah, you're gonna have to give up that 40 acres over there too. But do we really, how many would have show of hands? Because we had this conversation before. How many people really willing to go live over in Africa? Show of hands.
Hey, but we ain't got to go over there and live over there now. We can get some people that can have dual citizenship and they can go over there and they can work and they can look after our interests or whatever without actually having to live there. But I bet you you got some black people that would actually go over there and live over there because they would want to change the scenery, whatever. But most of us, you're right. Most of us don't want to live over there, but you would have some that would say, hey, I'll go ahead and I'll hold it down business-wise. I'll go over there and protect our interests. I'll make sure everything is being run smoothly. Because we need to have eyes over there. We need to have boots on the ground as well too. So let me go over there. I'll go ahead and I'll make sure the operation is running the way it should be. So that's what we really need. We need to start. We talk about forming multinational corporations. We need to go ahead and form it here in America. Like Brother McCoo got the picture up there, his profile with our elder Dr. Claude Anderson. We need to start looking at doing the group economics and then forming multicultural corporations and then going to some of these other places the same way these foreigners come over here and they invest and they buy land and they buy property and they do businesses and they do this and that or whatever. We can do that. You can form a multinational corporation, I'm sure, right here in America. Between us, we invest. What if we had 3,000-4,000 of us that invested $25 a month? Do you know what we could do over there? And first do it here in America. First go ahead and get the model down here in America. Start buying some of this cheap land in the South. Start building up. Start just build something simple. Build apartment complexes. Get these apartment complexes. We can go ahead and we can pay out of pocket where we don't even have to worry about loans and this and that. And I know people say, well, if you're investing it, you need to go ahead and get loans and this and that or whatever. But I'm saying the part of group economics as well is pulling your resources together where it's not killing you. So if you got 3,000 people. You invest in $25 a month or whatever. First, you can go ahead. We can create our own think tank. Let's create our own think tank. Let's go ahead and get some tax experts in there. Let's go get some actual business-minded people in there that know how to formulate businesses and this and that. Let's get our real estate agents. Let's get our whole team together. Next, let's go ahead and create, like I say, we create our corporation. Then we go ahead and we start to put our money together, and we put that in a bank account. So we have that money. Take the first month that we got 3,000 people, $25 each. We go ahead and we put that money in a savings account. That money's not to be touched. Next, we start looking to buy land. So we do everything piece by piece. It's not building a day, man. We do it piece by piece. We start building apartment complexes or houses or whatever. We start also hollering at some of these black-owned businesses, some of these restaurants and stuff like that that's doing pretty well in their towns or whatever. You say, hey, let's go ahead and let's franchise you guys. We'll be your partners or whatever. You keep half of the proceeds, we keep half of the proceeds or whatever. Something. We just got to go ahead and start doing more things than what we're doing right now, man. But you're right. And then once we do that here in America, then we can go overseas and we can start formulating that way as well too. We can start going to Africa where the land ain't gonna be as expensive. Start buying that land, start farming and everything else, start building. And then that's how these multinational corporations run, man. Like, we do it ourselves. You got it, DJ.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on everything you're saying. So when it comes to the dual citizenship thing, right, that should be automatically granted. But when you go listen and talk to some people that are, Africans, they want the one thing they understand is it ain't no such thing as just black people over there. We are Congolese, we are Nigerian, we are Egyptian, we are Israelis or whatever it may be, South Africans, Pretoria, you know what I mean? So a lot of them don't even identify as black. So when we talk about dual citizenship, that should automatically be given. But you'll have a lot of them Africans say, you're not African, you're American, you're a Yankee, you're an Okada, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of them Africans really don't want us over there in general anyway. But for the ones that do want us over there, and not just to come over and live, do business or whatever the case be, and be on accord with each other, there are many nations and tribes over in Africa that's willing to do that. But here's the problem, though. So when you say things like, okay, let's start off with real estate, I agree with that, but I think that's the long game for certain African countries. Because like you said, we're trying to go into a place that Congo.
No, I'm talking about real estate over here in America first. You do the real estate here in America first.
Real estate over here, okay, true. So, but okay, let me skip that thing, move on. So over in Africa, I do agriculture, landscape, horticulture shit, right? So the one thing I'm always paying attention to, obviously, a Naka gotta eat, bro. You all gotta eat as well. I don't care who you are, you know what I'm saying? So when you go look at the farmers over in Africa, similar to our brother C.W. Mallory, they got the land and they got the agriculture already popping, but they can't process it and they can't export it. So if we were to go over there and do a business, I think that'll be the first thing we need to do. And specifically things dealing with produce that's above ground. You got a lot of pineapple farmers that are out there where they don't have the workers or the means, the financial means to process and export the fruits. So a lot of the times the pineapples fall right off the tree and just go right back into the earth. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could have ate that shit, you know what I mean? And then discarded the skin or whatever, or used the skin for whatever product we could have made some lotion, some pineapple lotion or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that it's hard to do this shit. It's just that Africans have a mentality, and not all, but it's obviously the majority. They, like some of our people over here, they got a boule white supremacist mindset, and it's going to be real hard to try to network with these people, bro. And that is the problem. So when you go think about people like Dinez, you think you really networking with these people when in reality they just really want to control. This is why I support our sister Malky Megan. Closed border candidates only, and if we can do business, that'll just be what it is. But for the most part, that's the long game too, similar to reparations, bro. So when we do get our repair, we going after them African countries that sold our ancestors. Africans sold Negroes from Negro land. So with that being said, let's get our shit together here, like you said, Tata. Do whatever it is we got to do as far as some Dr. Carl Anderson group economics, and our elder was right about everything. He prophesized everything. They not coming over here for resources. I mean, to be friends with you, Graham. They coming for resources. We need to have the same mentality when we go over there. We're coming for resources.
Agree. And like I say, you don't. And my main thing is building here. I'm saying once you successfully build here in America, you know what I'm saying, you have your group economics working, then you can go abroad and do the same thing in places where the land's not going to be as expensive and where there may be a greater need for you. So first and foremost, my main thing would be, hey, let's go ahead and build in America. And then once we successful, once we have a bunch of projects under our belt, once we have a system that we know works and stuff, then you can start looking, and not just Africa, but to the Caribbean, South America, to the Pacific. I mean, to Africa. Yeah, you could go global then, and that's what a lot of them do. You know, a lot of them, they get together, they pull their resources together, and then they go to these different lands and they start investing in things of that nature itself. But no, first and foremost, we Americans, we need to go ahead and build here in this country here for our people first and foremost. You know, once you can get that rolling, and then you can look and start saying, well, hey, yeah, maybe it wouldn't be bad to have a sugar plantation somewhere in the Caribbean or something like that. And then you got also factor in hurricanes and stuff like that as well too. But it may not be bad to have a little farm out here in Ghana or whatever, or you can look at that kind of stuff. But first and foremost, you know, you got to take care of business here in America. Like, and that's our main goal is, you know, let's build some affordable housing for our people that live here. Let's build some grocery stores for our people that live here. Let's build some laundromats for our people that live here. We need to build our own black business districts. We need to have a place in some of these cities and stuff, in some of these black owned cities and stuff, where you can go somewhere, you can go to eat or whatever, and you have a district of 25, 30, businesses that's together in some kind of plaza or whatever, and it's all black owned. Yeah, you're renting the space out to other black businesses, you're the landlord or whatever, but you're making money. So that's what we need to have, stuff like that. We need to have our own, we need to start having black owned business districts. We need to start having that kind of stuff, man. Seriously, not just restaurants either, but our dentist offices, doctor offices. We need to have our roofers, our real estate agents, electricians, plumbers, and stuff like that. That's renting from, you know, if you had an actual group economic base or whatever, they're renting affordably too. It's affordable that they're renting space from you. You know what I'm saying? You keeping it all in there, and you can do just the same way that the people in Little Havana do it, the way people in Little Haiti. Hey, to be here, you got to be a black American the same way. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because if you go to Chinatown, you're going to have to be Chinese to be over in there. You go to Koreatown, you have to be Korean. If you go to Little Haiti and Little Cuba, you definitely going to have to be Cuban. You ain't going to be black American up there. And, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to get this business right. And then people are like, run your ass up out of there. So, hey, this here, you know, we could do this right here, man. It's just trying to do it. It's just putting it together. And before you know it, Dr. Claude, he's given us the game and stuff like that. We've seen the game even from Elijah Muhammad. It just goes to implementing things after a while, man. And we love to talk about what we're going to do and stuff like that. But we need to remember, as black people in the world, like the black people in this country, they really set the standard. So when people look and they're trying to get things cracking, they look and see what black Americans doing. But it's getting to the point, man, as black Americans, that we doing a lot of talking, but we ain't doing putting a whole lot of work behind the thing, man. And we could do it. Eventually you got to do it, or else you're not going to be in 20 years. How high is rent going to be? $3,000 a month? Because we're getting to that point. And the government, they can talk about, well, we're building more affordable units, and yeah, but the government will sit up here and tell, yeah, well, we're building more affordable units. And this, man, listen, you better get together as a group and start organizing now. And places, go in Alabama, and I know a lot of these southern places, a lot of people don't want to go to some, even in North Florida up here. You can find cheap areas and stuff like that. Start building our own black homesteads and towns and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be, and we look at the major urban areas like that's the only place we can build at. Man, you better start building some of these little hick-ass towns and start pushing migration there, start building businesses where black people can be sustainable. And not only that, we get into a point now in the world where, you know, the brick and mortar businesses don't always have to be. People can make money online and virtual and stuff like that too. So we got to start looking at creating services where our black people may be, you know, you may have a business that's in Atlanta, but you can have people working from California, New York, Florida, all over and stuff because it's a customer service based type business or whatever. They don't actually have to live in the city, you know, so that's something else that we have to look into as well. Volvo, what's going on with you tonight, bro?
Shit, what's going on, bro? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, it's been terrible for the last couple days. I tried to come up yesterday. I couldn't get on.
Man, they shadow banned us yesterday, bro. We couldn't.
I've been speaking about this for a while, man. I got a video on my YouTube channel called "If Black People Only Grew Through a Brain," where I drew up the map of how we can do it. You know what I mean? Like if we get together like that what is it? $2 trillion in spending power. Imagine that stay in the community. We'll be unstoppable with that, and we take all that money and we invest it back into our children, into the high schools, into training programs, and building up the next generation. We would be unstoppable. Like how I look at it is like, you know what I mean? Like I live in Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio is a real black city. You know what I mean? Like it's like really, really, especially on the east side of Cleveland, it's like super black. You know, black people run everything, but we don't own shit really. You know what I mean? Like it's a couple black people that got stores and shit like that. I know because I go out my way to go shop black. Like I shop black every day. You know what I mean? But I gotta drive past 5 convenience stores to get to the black store. I gotta drive past 7 gas stations to get to the black gas station. You know what I mean? So imagine if we got all that stuff back. Are people really waiting on it? I'm telling you. If you, let's say you open up you open up a gas station next to the Arab gas station, and you hang a black-owned sign in front of it. They going out of business tomorrow. The Arabs going out of business tomorrow. I'm talking about it's gonna really be that. It's gonna be an overnight shift like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just the problem that we having. Well, we got a couple problems. We keep getting sabotaged by the United States government. Then we got a money problem. You know, everybody don't got the money. You know what I mean? It's like the people with the good ideas don't got the funds. You know, to get it off the ground because it costs money. Then we got to keep it real, y'all. We got a cultural problem too. You know what I mean? You come up on 40,000, 50,000. A lot of people ain't about to risk that on no business. They gonna buy a bunch of trinkets and a bunch of bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? That's a part of our culture too, and that's a problem that we must fix. But once we get that, you got to think. I'm gonna close with this. I don't want to be too long-winded. You got to think about this, right? I'm pretty sure all y'all live in Black America, where most of y'all, the Arabs, the Asians, and all that. When they come to our community, they open up the business, they make the money, and then they walk it out the community. That's why their kids going to college and becoming doctors and all types of shit. You know what I mean? Because they walking the money out the community. It's money right in the hood. You know, that's where it's at. But another thing that we got to be prepared for, we got to be prepared to run that shit. Like, it ain't going to be no days off. Like, one thing I can say about them people that we need to take notes from, that we need to take notes on these people, them some hard-working people. They wake up every day, and they run that business. You know what I mean? And when I go into, like, the stores in Cleveland, they stores be clean. They got they got a variety of shit. They open 24/7. You know what I mean? They got to deal with crackheads. They got to deal with just the general public. So like when I see them doing that, like I don't like them at all. I can't stand them. But I gotta give credit where it's due. If we was to ever get together in a major way and say this, what we gonna do? It's gonna be over. I got some more stuff to say on, but I don't want to hog the mic.
All right, Bobo, you can get a chance to come back up and we'll pass around the room. You see how small the room is tonight. This is the smallest room we had in God knows when, but hey, it is what it is. We go to Leon and we'll go to DJ and we'll get right back to you. Go ahead, Leon.
All right. points, man. And I also wanted to add tidbits too. You know, don't forget also, a lot of us can't go get business loans because first thing some of these banks and stuff is, well, what's your sweat equity? What do you have? What do you have to put up for the loan? You know what I'm saying? Most of us ain't got own homes. You know what I'm saying? Or have money. So that makes it harder for us to get these business loans to make these moves like we need to. I'm just thinking that's like another thing as well. And then, like I think like you alluded to too, Newstoter. Look at the Asians up in New York City. They buying these projects, straight up buying these projects. And what are they doing? They're putting their people in the projects. You know what I'm saying? They're putting their little Asian communities in the projects, or they buying these apartment complexes, and they put their own people in. So it's they just like pushing us out, and they're doing it, and they buying it in the black community. Let's be honest, because they ain't like the whites ain't gonna let them do it in their community. So of course they just bumping us out. You know what I'm saying? And the ones who are and the ones of our people are fortunate to be able to still be able to have the money to get in these apartments where they at, because they still going through that process, so they still gonna have to have it available to the public, even though majority of the public that's in these Asian-owned projects are Asian, but to get that city funding and everything, they still gotta keep it open. So even though they don't kind of want to, but they kind of have to. So they only gonna keep a small percentage of us in here just to meet their quota for the city, just to keep that money coming in. But mostly they're worrying about their own people, you know what I'm saying? So that's another thing that I think we need to kind of think about too, like you was alluding to about started buying some of these projects and stuff. Most of them 9 out of 10, these cities and stuff, they rather have them go private funded. So this way they ain't got to worry about it. And then the only thing you have to worry about is just make sure they have the programs of the funds coming in. But instead of having them run it, city, states, or whatever, self-governed run, they rather have them privately run. So I mean that's an option that we could look at too. As far as helping each other when it comes to housing. I'll land there.
No problem, no problem. Let's go ahead and kick it to Let's go ahead and kick it. Who? I guess Volvo. You had your hand back up. DJ, you wanted to go before Volvo.
I'll let the brother Volvo go. Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead, Volvo.
Yeah, I just want to say, like this the plan I had, right? I did a video on this, right? If we was to get all our people on board, right, which are people really waiting on this, with black people really waiting on something like this, right? If we was to get like a big warehouse in the middle of America, and we was to, get all the shit that black Americans need, everything from toilet paper to car tires, so whatever we service the black community, our own community. And then we keep everything in this warehouse, right? And if they need if they need a whole truckload of car tires and I don't know, in Atlanta, we send it out. If they need a truckload of chips and I don't know, in Michigan, we send it out. You know what I mean? We send it out, and then I can't explain. I explained it on the video better, but
It's all about distribution.
we distributed ourselves though. You know what I mean? We distributed ourselves to our own community. You know what I mean? We buy it in bulk and we sell it to our own community. You know what I mean? And then we keep the money in house and we take the profits and then we build our people up. You know what I mean? We rebuild our cities. You know what I mean? We make sure that we give our people cheap home loans. You know what I mean? And if we had the means to build the houses ourselves, we got our own construction company. You know what I mean? We got our own plumbers, our own drywall people, our own people that know how to come in and do the work and all that type of shit. You know what I mean? Like black people really waiting on this type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like for real, like all of America, we waiting on. We don't want to see them. I've been on Twitter for about a year now, and I've been hearing the same shit. We really tired of seeing them. You know what I mean? Like they when you said somebody said that they built they bought a project or something like that, that's an apartment complex. How was they able to afford that? Off us? All them hair weaves and all that gas they sell in the black community, them chips and all that shit add up. You gotta think, even the most hole in the wall corner store on the worst block in America, the worst ghetto black hood in America, them Arabs is walking out the door with $2,000-$3,000 a day. Every day, minimum. They walking out the front door with that shit. You ain't never seen no armor truck in front of no Arab store. Ain't nobody protecting them. They got balls to go in there and just do anything. They talk to niggas crazy. They sell all the shit and niggas don't pay them no attention. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm rambling now, but I think y'all understand what I'm saying. Like we need to that really is a real good plan if we could just I don't know how we would start. You know what I mean? But we really do need to get together. I land my plane. I'm in the middle of eating, so I feel like I'm rambling.
No problem, man. No problem. Because it's a small space. We probably ain't gonna keep it going much longer tonight, y'all. I guess everybody got thrown off yesterday because our normal space got wrecked. So a lot of our people that probably would have been in the space tonight, they not here, so they can always catch the replay because we got it. We're recording it. So
actually, for most of our folks, they over in Marcel's space, and there's another space going on with the white dude talking about race issues or whatever. So that's the two spaces majority of everybody's at right now. But go ahead though.
Yeah, brother McCoo, but we still would have had more people in here. Even had the space last night went on, so you still would have. They hadn't had a space this small, and I don't know when. So you still would have had more people up in here. Brother McCoo, go ahead and unmute your mic.
What's up, Tyler? What's up, DJ? Ray?
What's up?
I'm gonna just definitely say this. I heard a key point: builders, having a construction with knowledge to build these homes. I have a maintenance business, and I do all aspects of maintenance. I can build a house and I can tear that motherfucker down too. And I'm always imploring and promoting. If there's anybody here in Baltimore, any handsome folks that's nice with their hands and want to learn the skill, come holler at me. I done posted my number on Twitter. Even around in these neighborhoods, I don't even implore Hispanics or anything like that. Even I'm in a house right now doing a whole renovation by myself. I'm doing a bathroom, I'm starting in the bathroom, doing the bedrooms, whatever the customer need. And it's a black customer. I got white customers too. But my point is, we got.
I think we might have lost you, brother McCoo. You there? He might be driving. I think we might have lost brother McCoo. He'll be back in a second, hopefully. I'm not sure if he might be driving too, y'all, so he may have hit one of those zones real quick.
What was the topic about, brother? I couldn't hear nothing.
Oh, yeah, we was talking about we was talking about black men. Are they afraid of police brutality? And we was talking about the Church of England. They was talking about their responsibility in the slave trade and that they're going to give out $100 million, which is really chump change because their endowment. I think they have an endowment fund that's over $10 billion. So they talk about giving $100 million, which is, a drop in the bucket for them. Let's be honest. And then we kind of, since we had a smaller room tonight, we kind of veered off a little bit of the topic or whatever, but because this is a really, really tiny room compared to what we normally have. So we kind of veered off a little bit of the conversation as well, too, man.
What was the police brutality thing?
Well, we had guy Gabriel. Gabriel, he's a writer, and he was in here. He wrote the article I had published it a couple weeks ago, but it was a pretty good article, and he was just talking about, are black men afraid to fight back against police brutality? So that was the topic. You know, I had to shorten it up to get it in the actual title, but basically, are black men afraid to fight back against police brutality? That's what it was about. So, you know, he made in the article, he made a lot of good points and stuff like that. I know some people say that, you know, black men are fighting back to a certain degree, and some say that we're not fighting back enough. You got to kind of, that. Go ahead.
It seemed like huh?
No, I said go ahead.
Yeah, it just seemed like when the doing part comes, so that's.
I don't think he even realized he was in the Matrix.
Brother McCoo.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I was in the Matrix.
Yeah, you was in the Matrix for a long time. Yeah, you.
Right, I'm gonna drop down and come back.
Yeah, you was in the Matrix for about 2 minutes there at least. Like, he's. Because at first I thought that was you, Volvo. Like, I just heard him come out of nowhere. I say, what did Volvo say? I didn't even know that was.
I mean, like, what is this guy? Is this the same Gabe guy? The same Gabe guy that everybody they keep talking about?
No, that's a politician. That's a white guy they talking about. This is a brother here. This is a brother that he has his own podcast on Spotify. He writes articles and stuff like that as well. He says he's wrote a couple books, and you know, he was just sharing some of his history with police brutality. He was saying that they tried to beat him one time and he got charged, and you know, he was just basically saying that, you know, back in the day with the Black Panthers and stuff like that, they didn't allow the police brutality to happen to the point we're seeing nowadays, and that as black men, we basically need to stand up and do something against it. Because, you know, you hear a lot of people saying that, hey, a lot of times when we're seeing these actual police brutality cases happening right in front of us, people, instead of trying to intervene, they're pulling out their cameras or their phones and they're recording the actual act instead of going over there trying to help out or whatever. So are we afraid of black men of police brutality? So, and you know, it's
that's what you're saying. I get it.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting question proposed. I mean, because I know some people say, well, if we try to do something, then we'll be at war with the white folks and this and that. So it's definitely an interesting question to have.
But I mean, most of the time when I see these police brutality videos, it be a guy by himself. You know what I mean? When the police stop you, that ain't something that you expecting. You know what I mean? It's like they pull you over out of nowhere, or they stop you out of nowhere. You're not really expecting that. You know what I mean? Like, what do I mean? I didn't read the article, but I mean, it's more of an ambush than anything, and ain't nobody really ready for no ambush. I mean, you can get prepared, you can prepare yourself, but
like the George Floyd thing, for instance, like when you're right, like, and a lot of times it may be a person you caught by yourself or whatever, but like the George Floyd, where you had people up there that was in the background, and they was talking like, hey, he can't breathe and this and that and stuff like that. Like, I guess he's talking to that, and just the epidemic of black men being killed in the street or being beat or whatever. Like, are we afraid to fight back against it? Are we afraid to are we just becoming okay with it? Just immune to the actual brutality that's going on in the streets on black people?
Complacent would be the word, bro.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, complacent.
In my opinion, man, my thing is this, right? Unity, like real unity. You know what I mean? Like that would be the best way to fight back. Is unity. We just not participating in this game no more. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, we can still go to work and do all that, but we gotta understand that we ain't fucking with y'all at all. You know what I mean? For some reason, that really scares the shit out of everybody. Once we start unifying, that scared the shit out of everybody. That's why it's always been an effort to break us up as a people, always. You know what I mean? That's why we doing this delineation movement. You know, that's why they in the uproar about that. Everybody in the uproar about that. You know what I mean? Like, I see, everybody, like, now they starting to talk about unity. Oh, that's divisive. Y'all dividing us. White people saying shit like that now. You know what I mean? We supposed to be, you guys are just trying to divide us. and all that. So like the best way, like I don't know, like for me, it'll have to be like we would have to really go like door to door, city to city, and say this what we doing. Everybody that want to get on code and get on board with this what we doing. You know what I mean? And like I said, black people waiting on something like that. You know what I mean? Not to get too far off topic, but the shit that Grandmaster Jay was trying to do, that was actually a good plan. I don't know who gave it to him, if he a police or none of that. Not trying to get into that, but if you listen to his plan, it was a pretty good plan. That was something that it could have worked. You know what I mean? Because the people got the power, so that's why they try to break up the people.
Real talk. I mean, a lot of people with the dude Grandmaster Jay, I know they used to call him Scam Master Jay as well too. So, it was a lot of people they doubted his actual his sincerity or whatever, but I know he did get hit with some jail time, so, Brother McCool,
If you notice this though,
no, go ahead, Volvo. I get to him. Go ahead.
No, I was about to say, if you notice, can't nobody tell you a scam he did. Nobody can tell you no scam he did. And nobody saying he scammed me. Ain't nobody said that at all. Just all bullshit. Like,
for real.
What you talking about, Bobo?
He talk about the Jam Master J dude, the one that got sentenced.
Yeah. Grandmaster J.
Grant. I don't know why. My bad. I'm thinking about Ron DMC for a second.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking about too. Walk his way. My Adidas.
Peace to Jam Master J. My bad, Grandmaster J. Brother.
In fact, they found some people that might have been the culprits that killed that brother too. But they saying, and I hate to even put this out there because
I heard that it was drug related. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it is what it is at this point. But go ahead though.
Go ahead, Brother McCool. I know we had you, but we kind of lost where you was at. Go ahead.
Yeah, can everybody hear me now? I'm so bad, man. Man, it's crazy.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, well, I don't know how much what you heard before, but I was just stating because Volvo made a real profound point. He was saying something about us, being in construction and building the homes and like building out people up. And I was saying that I'm up here in Baltimore and I run a maintenance business as well, and I'm always putting my information out for handsome folks that's nice with their hands, that want to learn a skill, want to make money, in the very next minute, what I'm saying, hour, right after they learn the skill, coming even working with me by my side, you know what I'm saying? And I was saying today, like I even extended the olive leaf out to my brothers personally, you know what I'm saying? Like brothers that say they want to work, I even say, man, you got to ride, you got a way to get here, I stop, come and get them, and I did that for a brother today, and he went, he bluffed me, you know what I'm saying, just bluffed me the whole way, had a demo job for him, had to do the demo myself, you know what I'm saying, ask him how much you want for the job, man, I said, look, when I ask you how much you want for a job, you just tell me how much you want for the job, I don't give a fuck how much it is, give me $250 for the job. All right, I get you that. Man, in the very next hour, I got this brother this job. Do you know, he called me back, said, oh, man, came with the excuse his mom was in the hospital. He had to go check on his mom. I said, you know what, man? I hope your mom's is okay. I said, look, check it out. I'll hold the job for you. Go see your mom. Just get back. Just holler at me when you get back. Hollered at me when he got back. I went to go get the brother. When I get down to his house, knock on his door, call his phone goes straight to the answer machine, don't knock on the door. Call me a day later, I fell asleep. Shit like that. Like, we can't be asleep at the wheel. Newstoter said something that was very valuable. He said, we got to start doing shit. We talk a lot, but we got to start doing shit. And I'm starting to find out, like, when it comes to doing shit, when it comes to banging that hammer to that nail head, niggas ain't there to bang the hammer. And that's where we fucking up at. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can study all the books you want to study, and you can study all the statistics you want to study, and you can sound good on the mic. But what you doing with your hands? You know what I'm saying? What you doing with your hands is what really matters. Because at the end of the day, if you ain't doing nothing and ain't nothing getting done, then we just gonna be talking. Like, you know, like what's happening now. Not saying in this space, but what's been happening the last year or two. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know, you need to talk. You know what I'm saying? You need the motivation, but after the motivation comes the penetration. You know what I'm saying? And ain't no penetrating going on. We ain't executing no plan. You know what I'm saying? And so I just wanted to say that I just wanted to say that was a real valuable thing that you're involved with, that the points that you're involved with made. I mean, even alluding to what DJ was talking about the pineapple fields and all that. You know, over in Africa, before we could even build over Africa or even start to talk about producing anything over Africa, we got to produce here first. Just like Newstoter said, we got to build our shit up here first. But when it comes to building, nobody ain't trying to bring the motherfucking nails and hold the drills and drill the screws. And nobody ain't trying to do that. Nobody ain't trying to learn the drywall. You know, I'm trying to teach this shit to my sons. And it's pulling them here, kicking and screaming. But I'm going to do it to them because I love them. You know what I'm saying? And they going to get it sooner or later because I'm going to keep drilling it at them. I don't give a fuck how sick they get of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how much they kick and scream. But we all got to be like that collective. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, yeah, it's a lot of businesses we can do. Online, all that. But I'm going to be real. I don't see no machines out here laying no brick. I don't see no machines out here. They got all the drills. They got all the automatic. They got a drill gun where you can drill screws with a drill and a gun and But you know what? I don't see no robots doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is less and less of my people doing that shit and more of these motherfucking immigrants doing that shit. And they fucking up shit because they don't really know how to do it. Some of them know how to do it, but a lot of them don't. And I know that because the evidence is I'm fixing up a job that an immigrant fucked up already. A whole house. But at the same time, you know, we just gotta really get to doing shit. You know, I don't want to crash. I'll crash my plane there because you know this is a small space. Thank you for letting me speak. But you know, when it comes to doing, yeah, we definitely gotta do this shit. You know, after we talk about it. I land there.
Real talk, real talk. Appreciate that, brother. Go ahead, Volvo, unmute your mic. We ain't gonna keep the space going too much longer because, like I said, it is a small space, and definitely I got a special because since they shitted on us on yesterday, I got something for them coming Sunday though. Go ahead, Volvo, you got it.
Yeah, I just want to touch on what the brother was saying. Yeah, you know, I believe that the guy that cut out on you, he already done. Ain't nothing you can do for him. He gonna always be doing that. You know what I mean? Like he just ain't built like that. You know what I mean? Like that's why I say I wish I could build a high school, even a junior high school, where we can get them young. You know what I mean? Where we can have them laying drywall. You know what I mean? In school still. You know what I mean? Like how they used to do. You know what I mean? Like you know we need to bring that shit back. That need to be mandatory. You know what I mean? All that stuff, you know, the construction and all that, because like you said, you said they got a drill gun, but it ain't no robot holding it. You absolutely right about that, brother. Like, here in the city of Cleveland, they just tore up all the sidewalks. Like, I'm talking about literally, like, all the sidewalks on the east side, and they repoured them. You know what I mean? And, you know, like, and you know, as I was driving past, I kept looking at the trucks. You know, they got the names on the trucks and where these people from. You know, they from the suburbs. It is all white boys doing it. And this is a black ass, especially on the east side. This real black. Like you can go for hours and not see another race. You know what I mean? But the white boys pouring the concrete, and they out there with the little broom thing. I don't know what it's called, but they making it smooth and. You know what I mean? They the laborers and all that shit. They carrying the bricks and all that shit. The white boys got the company. You know what I mean? They got the company and how they got the contract to do it. It's because they got the equipment. They got the know-how. You know what I mean? They know how to go bid on those contracts. That shit that we don't know, we behind. You know what I mean? We need to start teaching that shit how to bid on these government contracts. Because if it was a black, like if I had the company and I had the equipment and I had the workers, I would definitely win the contract. You know what I mean? Because it's City Hall that's giving out these millions of dollars. So I'm somebody of the city, but ain't nobody in the city got the equipment. We don't got the stuff to get it done. You know what I mean? Let me close with this, right? If you build it, you own it, and you run it. You know, that's why these people come to our community. They don't just open up a business; they build the business. You know what I mean? You know, that's something that we need to start getting back instilled in us. Building businesses. You know what I mean? If you building businesses, you know, like if you build it, you own it and you run it. You know what I mean? And you know, they can't really, well, they could sabotage you or take it away from you, but you know, it'll be hard for them to do that. You know what I mean? That's what we really need to get back to. We need to get back to building. You know what I mean? Building. I'm a land there, brother. I appreciate you letting me speak.
No problem, no problem. Y'all, we're gonna go ahead and close the space out for the night. We pretty small space, but we will be back Sunday because we was gonna do that one space yesterday, but they pretty much went ahead and shut it down. They wouldn't let us get up on here and do it. So come Sunday, I'm thinking 7:00. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna hold a space Sunday night. So y'all that can, please make sure y'all come on and check us out. BJ Ray, y'all want to say something real quick before we close it out?
Nah, go ahead. We all agree to agree, bro. You know what it is.
All right. Well, y'all be easy. Y'all have a good weekend, and we're going to check y'all out Sunday night. So y'all come hang out with us, and we're going to have a special space going on Sunday. So everybody be easy. I appreciate you guys coming in, and we'll see y'all then. So have a good night.
Good night. Good night.